Well, then I started thinking about no more wicked at the pretty little gals about by.
Big Bopper, a monumental figure in the realm of rock and roll, commanded attention with his electrifying performances and distinctive sound. Known for his charismatic stage presence and groundbreaking contributions to music, Big Bopper's impact on the genre is undeniable. Yet, behind the glittering facade of fame and success lay a life fraught with challenges, both personal and professional. This documentary delves into Big Bopper's early years, his ascent to stardom, his trailblazing influence on rock music, and the personal battles that shadowed his career. Recently, his children have come forward to reveal the unsettling truths about their father's life, confirming the tragic realities that had long been speculated. Jiles Perry Richardson Jr., famously known as the Big Bopper, was born on October 24, 1930, in Sabine Pass, Texas. Raised in a working-class family, Richardson grew up with a love for music, which was cultivated early on through his exposure to country and gospel music. His fascination with the radio medium also developed during his youth, influencing his later career choice. After graduating high school, Richardson attended Lamar State College of Technology, where he further explored his musical and broadcasting interests. In 1949, Richardson joined KTRM Radio in Beaumont, Texas, initially as a janitor, but soon worked his way up to a DJ position. His deep voice, charismatic personality, and innovative broadcasting style quickly made him a popular figure on the airwaves. It was during his time as a DJ that he adopted the moniker the Big Bopper, a name that suited his boisterous, larger-than-life persona. His work in radio helped shape his musical career, leading him to write and perform songs that would eventually make him a key figure in the rock and roll explosion of the late 1950s. Chantilly Lace is arguably the Big Bopper's most iconic song, released in 1958. The track is characterized by its playful, flirtatious lyrics and infectious rockabilly rhythm. The song's title references a style of lace that became synonymous with high fashion and femininity, capturing the spirit of youthful romance that was prevalent in 1950s pop culture. Written by the Big Bopper himself, the song showcased his signature style, blending humor, storytelling, and a catchy melody. The recording of Chantilly Lace took place at Bell Sound Studios in New York City, and its distinctive spoken-word intro set the tone for its narrative style. Richardson's deep, resonant voice and the call-and-response format made the track stand out among other rock and roll hits of the time. It quickly climbed the charts, reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 and solidifying the Big Bopper's place in rock and roll history. Chantilly Lace became a cultural phenomenon, emblematic of the era's teenage experience. Its success also opened doors for Richardson to tour with other rock and roll greats, further cementing his legacy as one of the genre's pioneers. The Big Bopper played a pivotal role in the birth of rock and roll, a genre that would come to define a generation. Emerging in the mid-1950s, rock and roll was characterized by its rebellious spirit, energetic beats, and fusion of rhythm and blues, country, and pop music. The Big Bopper, with his distinct voice and charismatic stage presence, helped shape this new musical landscape. One of his significant contributions was his ability to blend different musical styles, seamlessly incorporating rockabilly, country, and pop into his songs. This versatility allowed him to appeal to a broad audience, crossing racial and cultural boundaries that were prevalent at the time. His innovative approach to songwriting and performance set a standard for future rock and roll artists. Beyond his music, the Big Bopper's work as a radio DJ helped popularize rock and roll. His energetic radio shows and catchy on-air antics helped introduce audiences to the new sounds of the genre, making him an influential figure in its proliferation. His untimely death in 1959 only added to his legend, solidifying his place as one of rock and roll's early icons. The Big Bopper's influence on future generations of musicians extends far beyond his brief career. With his dynamic voice, innovative songwriting, and charismatic presence, he left a lasting impact on rock and roll and popular music. His ability to blend humor, storytelling, and catchy melodies into his songs set a template that many artists would follow. The success of Chantilly Lace and his other hits demonstrated the power of personality-driven performances, inspiring future rock stars to embrace their individuality and stage personas. Artists such as Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, and even later performers like Bruce Springsteen and Billy Joel have acknowledged the influence of early rock and roll pioneers like the Big Bopper in shaping their musical journeys. Moreover, the Big Bopper's work as a songwriter also influenced other genres. His track, White Lightning, performed by George Jones, became a hit in the country music scene, showcasing his versatility and ability to cross musical boundaries. Through these contributions, the Big Bopper helped pave the way for the integration of rock and roll into mainstream culture, influencing countless artists and contributing to the genre's evolution for generations to come. On February 3, 1959, the world was shocked by the tragic news of a plane crash that claimed the lives of three rising rock and roll stars: the Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, and Ritchie Valens. Dubbed the Day the Music Died, this event marked a significant and heartbreaking moment in music history. The three artists were part of the Winter Dance Party Tour, which was facing logistical challenges, including cold weather and long, uncomfortable bus rides. After a performance in Clear Lake, Iowa, the group decided to charter a small plane to the next tour stop in Moorhead, Minnesota, hoping to avoid the harsh conditions. The plane, a Beechcraft Bonanza, took off in the early morning hours, piloted by Roger Peterson. Unfortunately, due to a combination of bad weather and pilot error, the plane crashed shortly after takeoff, killing all on board. The loss of the Big Bopper, along with Holly and Valens, had a profound impact on the music industry and fans alike. It was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the risks associated with constant touring. Their untimely deaths cemented their legacies, making them enduring symbols of rock and roll's golden era. While the Big Bopper is best known for his hit, Chantilly Lace, his discography includes several lesser-known tracks that showcase his versatility and talent as a musician. Songs like Big Bopper's Wedding and Little Red Riding Hood highlight his playful and humorous approach to storytelling, using his booming voice to create vivid, entertaining narratives that resonated with audiences. Purple People Eater Meets Witch Doctor is another example of his ability to capitalize on novelty themes, blending rock and roll with lighthearted, fantastical elements. Tracks like Beggar to a King, although not as commercially successful, demonstrate the Big Bopper's range as a songwriter, capable of tackling more serious themes. His song, Strange Kisses, features a blend of rockabilly and doo-wop elements, illustrating his adaptability to different musical styles. These hidden gems provide a glimpse into the Big Bopper's creative mind and his willingness to experiment with different sounds and lyrical content. They contribute to his enduring legacy, showcasing a depth that goes beyond his biggest hit and solidifying his place in the early days of rock and roll as a multifaceted artist. The Big Bopper was not only a charismatic performer, but also a talented songwriter who penned hits for other artists. One of his most famous compositions, White Lightning, became a chart-topping success for country music legend George Jones in 1959. This song marked Jones's first #1 hit on the Billboard Country chart, illustrating the Big Bopper's knack for writing tunes that resonated across different genres. Another notable song written by the Big Bopper is Running Bear, which he penned for his friend and fellow artist Johnny Preston. Running Bear became a posthumous hit for Richardson, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1960, a year after his death. The song's blend of narrative storytelling and catchy melody demonstrated his ability to craft songs that appealed to both pop and country audiences. These songwriting contributions highlight the Big Bopper's versatility and influence beyond his own recordings. His talent for creating memorable melodies and engaging lyrics helped shape the sound of early rock and roll and country music, leaving a lasting impact on the artists who performed his songs and the fans who embraced them. Before he became known as the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson made a name for himself as a popular radio DJ at KTRM in Beaumont, Texas. His deep voice, witty personality, and innovative on-air antics quickly garnered a following, making him a local celebrity. His radio persona, which included catchphrases and a lively, engaging style, set the stage for his transition into music. Richardson's role as a DJ gave him a unique understanding of what audiences wanted to hear, and he used this insight to shape his musical career. His experience in radio also provided him with valuable connections in the music industry, which he leveraged to launch his career as a recording artist. It was during his time at KTRM that he adopted the name The Big Bopper, a persona that matched his larger-than-life personality. His transition from DJ to rock star was marked by his debut single, Chantilly Lace, which showcased his charismatic delivery and storytelling skills. His success as a recording artist did not diminish his love for radio. Instead, it complemented it, allowing him to bring his unique style to a broader audience and solidify his legacy in both fields. The Big Bopper played a crucial role in the popularization and development of the rockabilly genre, a style that emerged in the 1950s and blended rock and roll with country music influences. Rockabilly, characterized by its upbeat tempo, catchy rhythms, and energetic vocals, was an essential component of the early rock and roll scene, and the Big Bopper was among the key figures who helped shape its sound. With his distinctive voice and playful lyrics, the Big Bopper brought a unique flavor to the rockabilly genre. His hit song Chantilly Lace exemplified the rockabilly spirit with its driving rhythm and flirtatious narrative style. The song's success demonstrated the genre's wide appeal and helped establish its popularity among young listeners. Beyond his own recordings, the Big Bopper's influence extended through his work as a songwriter for other artists. He wrote songs that captured the rockabilly essence, contributing to its growth and crossover into mainstream music. The Big Bopper's ability to fuse country and rock elements in a way that resonated with audiences was instrumental in solidifying rockabilly's place in music history and influencing future generations of musicians. The Big Bopper's connection with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens is one of the most significant and tragic stories in rock and roll history. The three musicians, each with a unique style and immense talent, came together during the 1959 Winter Dance Party Tour, which brought them to various venues across the Midwest. This tour was a crucial opportunity for all three artists to connect with their growing fan bases and expand their reach. Despite their different musical backgrounds, Holly's rock and roll, Valens' Latin-inspired rock, and the Big Bopper's rockabilly, they shared a mutual respect and camaraderie. Their collaboration during the tour was a testament to the unity within the emerging rock and roll scene, highlighting how diverse influences could coexist and thrive. The tragic plane crash on February 3, 1959, that took their lives forever linked the Big Bopper, Buddy Holly, and Richie Valens in the public's memory. The event became a defining moment in music history, known as the day the music died. This shared fate not only ended their promising careers prematurely, but also left an indelible mark on the hearts of fans and the evolution of rock and roll. The Big Bopper's influence extends beyond music, reaching into film and pop culture. His iconic image, characterized by his larger-than-life personality, distinctive voice, and trademark style, has become emblematic of the rock and roll era of the 1950s. His most famous song, Chantilly Lace, continues to be featured in movies, television shows, and commercials, maintaining his presence in popular culture decades after his untimely death. Films about the early rock and roll era, such as La Bamba, 1987, which tells the story of Richie Valens, also touch on the tragic event that connected the Big Bopper with Buddy Holly and Valens. The plane crash that claimed their lives is often depicted as a pivotal moment in rock history, cementing the Big Bopper's role in the collective memory of the era. Moreover, the Big Bopper's persona has inspired portrayals and references in various media, showcasing his lasting impact on how the 1950s rock scene is remembered. His blend of humor, showmanship, and musical talent continues to inspire new generations of artists and entertainers, ensuring that his legacy endures in both music and popular culture. While primarily known for his rock and roll hits, the Big Bopper also made significant contributions to country music. One of his most notable achievements in this genre was writing the song White Lightning, which became a major hit for country artist George Jones in 1959. White Lightning is a rollicking, upbeat tune that tells the story of homemade moonshine, capturing the rebellious spirit that was often associated with both rock and roll and country music at the time. The success of White Lightning marked a significant crossover moment, demonstrating the Big Bopper's versatility as a songwriter. The song reached the top of the Billboard country charts, becoming Jones's first #1 single and solidifying his reputation as a country music icon. For the Big Bopper, White Lightning showcased his ability to craft songs that resonated with audiences beyond the rock and roll sphere. This hit also highlighted the interconnected nature of rock and roll and country music during the 1950s, with artists often drawing influences from both genres. Even after his untimely death, the Big Bopper's influence in country music continued through the enduring popularity of White Lightning. The Big Bopper's legacy has been celebrated through numerous tributes and memorials over the decades. His untimely death at just 28 years old in a tragic plane crash, alongside Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, marked the end of a promising career, but also immortalized him as a rock and roll legend. Fans and fellow musicians alike have paid homage to the Big Bopper through various commemorative events. Each year on February 3rd, the anniversary of the plane crash, fans gather in Clear Lake, Iowa, where the tragedy occurred, to remember and celebrate the lives of the three musicians. The Surf Ballroom, where the Big Bopper gave his final performance, hosts annual tribute concerts that draw rock and roll enthusiasts from around the world. In addition to these events, several documentaries and biopics have chronicled the Big Bopper's life, music, and the fateful tour. His influence has also been recognized in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which has honored his contributions to the genre. Through these tributes, the Big Bopper's music and legacy continue to resonate, ensuring that his pioneering spirit lives on in the hearts of rock and roll fans everywhere. The Big Bopper played a significant role in shaping the cultural landscape of the 1950s, particularly among teenagers. At a time when rock and roll was emerging as a powerful force, challenging societal norms and capturing the imaginations of young people, the Big Bopper's music and persona resonated with the youthful spirit of rebellion and freedom. His hit song Chantilly Lace became an anthem for teenage flirtation and fun, with its catchy beat and playful lyrics reflecting the carefree attitude of the decade's youth. The Big Bopper's onstage charisma and radio DJ background made him a relatable figure for teens who saw him as both an entertainer and a peer. His ability to connect with young audiences helped popularize rock and roll music, turning it into a dominant cultural force that would influence fashion, language, and attitudes. His music, often infused with humor and storytelling, also provided a soundtrack for the burgeoning teen identity, which was increasingly seen as a distinct phase of life. Through his songs, radio presence, and public appearances, the Big Bopper contributed to the shaping of 1950s teen culture, leaving an indelible mark on the generation and on rock and roll history. The stage name The Big Bopper was a perfect reflection of J.P. Richardson's larger-than-life personality. Born Jiles Perry Richardson Jr., he initially made his mark in the entertainment world as a radio DJ in Beaumont, Texas, where his deep voice and charismatic presence quickly earned him popularity. The name The Big Bopper originated from a dance craze called the bop that was sweeping through the youth culture in the late 1950s. Richardson embraced this new persona as he transitioned from radio DJ to recording artist. The name Big Bopper suggested a sense of fun and excitement, which aligned perfectly with the rock and roll ethos of the era. It also played into the image of him as a jovial, friendly figure who brought energy and humor to his performances. His stage name helped distinguish him from other artists and allowed him to create a memorable brand that fans could easily identify with. By adopting the moniker The Big Bopper, Richardson was able to craft a unique identity that was both marketable and iconic, helping to propel him to success in the rock and roll scene of the late 1950s. Before becoming a rock and roll star, the Big Bopper made a significant impact on radio programming. Working as a DJ at KTRM in Beaumont, Texas, Richardson was known for his innovative and engaging on-air style. His ability to entertain and connect with his audience made him a popular figure, and he quickly rose to prominence in the local radio scene. His show featured a mix of music, humor, and listener interaction, setting a standard for rock and roll radio programming. Richardson was among the first DJs to recognize the potential of rock and roll music to captivate young audiences. He played a crucial role in introducing the genre to his listeners, using his platform to promote new rock and roll records and artists. His energetic delivery, combined with his use of catchy phrases and sound effects, created an entertaining listening experience that influenced the format of rock and roll radio shows across the country. The Big Bopper's work in radio not only paved the way for his own music career but also helped shape the landscape of radio programming, demonstrating how personality-driven shows could engage audiences and drive the popularity of emerging musical styles. Despite his career being cut short, the Big Bopper's influence endures in the digital age. His music, characterized by catchy melodies, humor, and a distinctive voice, continues to resonate with new generations through streaming platforms, social media, and digital remastering. Songs like Chantilly Lace have been digitally restored and re-released, making his work accessible to audiences far beyond the 1950s. The advent of the internet and streaming services has allowed the Big Bopper's music to reach a global audience, transcending the limitations of his era. His recordings are available on platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube, where fans can easily discover and share his songs. Social media also plays a role in keeping his memory alive, with fans posting tributes, cover versions, and sharing historical footage. Additionally, the story of the Big Bopper is preserved in various online archives, documentaries, and websites dedicated to the history of rock and roll. His influence on the genre and his role in shaping early rock and roll culture ensure that his legacy remains relevant, demonstrating how music from the past continues to inspire and entertain in the digital age. The Big Bopper's musical legacy lives on through his family, who have worked to preserve his memory and continue his influence in the music industry. His son, J. Perry Richardson, also known as Big Bopper Jr., has been instrumental in keeping his father's legacy alive. Born shortly after his father's death, Jay grew up with a deep connection to his father's music and career. Jay Richardson has performed tribute shows, often featuring his father's hits like Chantilly Lace, and sharing stories about the Big Bopper's life and career. These performances help introduce the Big Bopper's music to new audiences and honor the impact he had on rock and roll history. Jay's dedication to celebrating his father's work extends beyond live performances. He has participated in documentary projects and interviews that explore the Big Bopper's contributions to music. The Big Bopper's influence also extends to his grandchildren, who have embraced the family's musical heritage. Through these efforts, the Big Bopper's family ensures that his spirit and influence continue to resonate, celebrating his contributions to rock and roll and keeping his memory alive for future generations. Though the music video as we know it today was not yet fully developed, the Big Bopper was instrumental in pioneering early visual media for music promotion. His promotional films and early television appearances were among the first to blend music with visual elements, showcasing his charismatic personality and theatrical performance style. These early ventures into visual media not only enhanced his songs, but also set a precedent for future artists. His approach to using visuals to complement his music can be seen as a precursor to the modern music video, which now serves as a crucial component of music promotion and artist branding. The Big Bopper's innovative use of visual media helped shape the way musicians engage with their audiences, making him a key figure in the evolution of music videos. The Big Bopper was known for his distinctive fashion sense and dynamic stage presence, which played a significant role in his appeal. His flamboyant suits, often adorned with bold patterns and colors, were a stark contrast to the more subdued styles of his contemporaries. This vibrant wardrobe, combined with his larger-than-life personality, helped him stand out in the crowded field of 1950s rock and roll. On stage, his energetic performances and theatrical antics captivated audiences, setting him apart as a showman who knew how to engage and entertain. His style and presence not only defined his own career, but also influenced the broader visual and performance standards of rock and roll, leaving a lasting imprint on the genre's aesthetic. The Big Bopper was deeply connected with several key figures in the 1950s rock and roll scene, including Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, and Jerry Lee Lewis. His relationships with these icons were marked by mutual respect and collaboration. For instance, his friendship with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens culminated in the ill-fated Winter Dance Party Tour, which was a significant event in rock history. The Big Bopper's collaborations extended to songwriting, where his contributions were recognized by other artists. These interactions and collaborations not only enriched his own musical career, but also played a crucial role in shaping the rock and roll genre. The camaraderie among these pioneering musicians fostered a creative environment that helped propel the genre's development. The Big Bopper was a significant figure in the development of rock and roll touring culture. His involvement in the early rock and roll tours, such as the Winter Dance Party, was pivotal in establishing the touring circuit that became a staple of the music industry. These tours were grueling and demanding, involving long hours on the road and tight schedules. The Big Bopper's participation helped highlight the challenges and dynamics of live performances, including the logistical and personal aspects of touring life. His experiences and stories from these tours contributed to the mythos of the rock and roll lifestyle, influencing how future artists approached touring and live performances. His legacy in this area underscores the crucial role of touring in building a musician's career and shaping the industry's culture. After the Big Bopper's tragic death in 1959, his legacy continued to grow through various posthumous efforts. His music, especially hits like Chantilly Lace, remained popular and was featured in numerous compilations and reissues. Tributes and memorials, including songs written about him and his influence on other artists, helped keep his memory alive. Films, documentaries, and books have also explored his life and career, contributing to his enduring legend. The Big Bopper's impact on rock and roll and pop culture was further solidified through these posthumous recognitions, ensuring that his contributions to music and entertainment would not be forgotten. His continued relevance is a testament to the lasting appeal of his work and the enduring interest in the early rock and roll era. The Big Bopper's last concert took place on February 2, 1959, at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. This performance was part of the Winter Dance Party Tour, which also featured Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. The tour, organized during the harsh winter months, faced numerous logistical challenges, including cold temperatures and long bus rides, making the show at the Surf Ballroom a welcome relief for both the performers and their fans. The concert was a vibrant affair, showcasing the energy and charisma that the Big Bopper was known for. He performed his hit, Chantilly Lace, engaging the audience with his deep voice, playful lyrics, and lively stage presence. The show was well received, with the audience enthusiastically responding to the performances of all three headliners. Tragically, this concert would be the Big Bopper's final performance. Following the show, he, Buddy Holly, and Richie Valens boarded a small plane to their next tour stop. The plane crashed shortly after takeoff, claiming the lives of all on board. This final concert has since become a poignant moment in rock and roll history, remembered as a celebration of music and a tragic end to the careers of three rising stars. Following the Big Bopper's untimely death in 1959, several posthumous releases have helped to keep his musical legacy alive. In the wake of the tragedy, record labels sought to honor his memory by releasing previously recorded material that had not yet been made public. These releases offered fans a glimpse into what might have been had the Big Bopper's career not been tragically cut short. One of the notable posthumous releases was the single Big Bopper's Wedding, a humorous track that featured the Big Bopper's signature style of storytelling and comedic elements. This song, along with others like Pink Petticoats, showcased his versatility as a performer, blending rock and roll with a touch of novelty. In addition to these singles, various compilation albums have been released over the years, collecting the Big Bopper's work for new generations of listeners. These compilations often include live recordings, outtakes, and alternate versions of his hits, providing a comprehensive view of his musical talent. These posthumous releases not only honor the Big Bopper's contributions to rock and roll, but also ensure that his music continues to be enjoyed by fans around the world, preserving his legacy for future generations.